Most men are stuck in the friend zone because they're doing one thing wrong. They're giving too much. They overextend themselves, constantly seeking approval and validation from women, thinking that if they're just nice enough, just available enough, they'll eventually win her over. But here's the harsh truth. Women don't fall for men who try too hard. They fall for men who don't need to try. The secret trait that keeps men out of the friend zone isn't charm, looks, or being the nice guy. It's stoic confidence, the ability to stand firm in your own value and to not seek validation from her or anyone else. When you're emotionally grounded, when your sense of self-worth doesn't depend on her response, you stop acting out of need. And that's the exact moment women start to see you as someone they want, rather than just a friend. The key to avoiding the friend zone is to stop being emotionally available all the time. When you're constantly available, constantly giving, constantly trying to be her best friend, you send the message that you're always there to serve her emotional needs, and that makes you predictable. Women are not drawn to men who are predictable. They're drawn to men who are strong, independent, and have their own lives. A stoic man doesn't chase attention or approval. Instead, he stays true to his values, lives by his purpose, and remains emotionally composed, regardless of what's happening around him. When you adopt this mindset, you stop trying to prove your worth. Instead, you allow her to prove her worth to you. You become the prize, not because you're showing off, but because you don't need her validation to feel good about yourself. The stoic man understands that self-respect is the foundation of attraction. He doesn't need to beg for attention. He doesn't need to ask for validation. He knows his worth, and that inner security is what makes him stand out. Women are drawn to men who respect themselves enough to set boundaries. When you constantly put her needs before your own, when you sacrifice your time and energy just to be in her presence, you lower your own value. This is what puts you in the friend zone. You're showing her that you are too available, too eager, and too willing to please. A stoic man, however, has boundaries. He doesn't chase her. He lets her chase him. He doesn't adjust his life to make room for her. He remains steady in his own world, and if she wants to be a part of it, she has to earn her place. This emotional independence is the key to breaking out of the friend zone and into the realm of desire. If you're ready to stop chasing and start attracting, subscribe and hit the bell. You won't want to miss what's coming next. A stoic man also understands that emotional control is crucial to keeping women interested. Most men, when they sense a woman pulling away, or when things get uncertain, panic. They try harder, chase more, or shower her with compliments and attention. But this behavior is rooted in fear. Fear of losing her, fear of rejection. The stoic man doesn't fear rejection. He doesn't fear being alone. He knows that his value is not dependent on any one woman's approval. He is emotionally independent and doesn't let external situations dictate his mood or actions. When a woman sees this emotional stability, she becomes intrigued. She doesn't feel the need to constantly reassure you or wonder if you'll chase her the moment she pulls back. She feels challenged, and challenge is attractive. Women want men who are emotionally resilient, who don't crumble under pressure or panic when things aren't perfect. This is a major trait that keeps you out of the friend zone and in the realm of romantic possibility. Emotional control also means you don't get easily attached. Not in a desperate, needy way, but in a way that shows you have a life, purpose, and goals beyond seeking her approval. When you remain focused on your own mission and goals, you automatically create a sense of mystery and value. Women are drawn to men who don't attach themselves to the outcome of a relationship. A stoic man doesn't invest his emotions too quickly. He's not constantly looking for reassurance or affection from her. Instead, he remains grounded in his purpose, knowing that his value doesn't change based on her responses. By not attaching emotionally too quickly, you give her the space to appreciate you for who you are, not just as a source of emotional comfort. This keeps the attraction alive, while also showing her that you won't settle for anything less than what you deserve. The stoic man knows that the key to lasting attraction is to avoid being too predictable in how he interacts with her. Most men fall into the trap of constantly seeking validation, always showing affection, and always being on. But this predictability causes attraction to fade. Women crave emotional depth. They want to feel a sense of challenge, and they want a man who isn't constantly available at their beck and call. A Stoic man understands this. He isn't afraid to let her experience emotional uncertainty. He doesn't feed her need for constant attention. Instead, he creates space, which makes his attention valuable. By pulling away just enough, not being overly available, and letting her wonder about him, he keeps the emotional tension alive. This push-pull dynamic is what makes women crave more. They don't want a man who's too easy to figure out. They want the man who keeps them thinking, keeps them guessing, and makes them earn his attention. A Stoic man is not afraid of vulnerability, but he also knows how to use it strategically. He doesn't reveal everything about himself too quickly. He doesn't pour his heart out or wear his emotions on his sleeve. Instead, he shows glimpses of his true self, enough to intrigue, but not so much that it becomes predictable or easy to grasp. This vulnerability, when used correctly, creates an emotional depth that attracts women. It gives them something to connect with, but it also makes them work for it. Women are drawn to men who are willing to open up, but only at the right moments. When you maintain control over what you reveal, it forces her to become emotionally invested in learning more about you. The Stoic man's vulnerability is never a weakness. It's a carefully crafted part of his emotional armor that keeps her interested and engaged, but never completely satisfied. This balance of openness and mystery is what keeps the attraction strong and keeps him out of the friend zone. The key to maintaining attraction is control over your emotions, especially in moments of conflict or uncertainty. When a woman tests you, which, let's be honest, she will, the most common mistake men make is reacting too quickly, emotionally, or impulsively. A Stoic man doesn't react. He observes, he stays calm, and he responds from a place of strength. He doesn't get angry, frustrated, or upset. Instead, he takes a step back, assesses the situation with clarity, and responds with confidence and control. This is what sets him apart. In a world full of men who react with anxiety, fear, or insecurity, the Stoic man is a breath of fresh air. Women are drawn to men who can handle tension, who can face challenges without losing their composure. By staying emotionally stable, even in stressful situations, you not only show her that you're strong, but you also show her that you're worthy of her respect. As you continue to practice emotional control and Stoic principles, you realize that self-reliance is a cornerstone of attraction. You no longer rely on external validation from women, friends, or society to feel good about yourself. This self-reliance isn't about being cold or distant. It's about knowing your worth and not needing others to define it. When you stop seeking reassurance from the people around you, you give off an energy that is grounded and powerful. Women find this emotional independence incredibly attractive. This doesn't mean you never express yourself emotionally. It means you express your emotions in a controlled, measured way. When you choose to show vulnerability or affection, it's done on your terms. And that makes those moments all the more meaningful. When you master emotional control, women see you as a man who doesn't need them to feel fulfilled. Instead, you become someone who adds value to their lives, not out of need, but from a place of emotional abundance. The power of emotional control is that it doesn't just make you more attractive to women, it makes you a more powerful man overall. When you stop allowing your emotions to dictate your actions, you create a life that is driven by purpose, clarity, and strength. Women are drawn to men who are emotionally resilient, men who don't crumble under pressure or let life's challenges break them. They want to feel safe and secure with someone who can handle both the highs and lows without losing his composure. When you master emotional control, you stop chasing validation. You stop needing anyone's approval. You stop worrying about how others perceive you, and instead, you focus on what truly matters: your purpose, your growth, and your emotional resilience. This emotional mastery makes you irresistible, not just because of what you can offer, but because of the strength and depth you exude. Women want to be with men who can handle life's challenges with grace and power. and that's exactly what you'll become. If you found value in this, subscribe and hit the bell. You won't want to miss what's coming next. This is Marble Masculinity. Stay strong, stay in control, stay unforgettable. Emotional control isn't just about keeping your cool when things are calm. It's about staying composed when life is chaotic. Whether it's a challenging situation at work, a tough conversation, or an unexpected emotional trigger, a stoic man responds with poise and clarity. He doesn't let stress control him. Instead, he controls his reaction to stress. This level of emotional control builds trust and admiration in women. They respect men who don't overreact, who can face adversity without losing their composure. When a woman sees that you can handle pressure with ease, it's incredibly attractive because it shows her that you are a man of strength, someone who is unwavering no matter what challenges come your way. When you don't let your emotions rule you, you become the kind of man who commands respect naturally. Another powerful aspect of emotional control is the ability to maintain self-discipline. The stoic man doesn't let his emotions dictate his decisions. Instead, he acts with purpose, guided by his values and goals. Self-discipline means knowing when to act and when to refrain, when to push forward and when to step back. This trait is key in relationships. Women find it extremely attractive when a man can control his impulses and make decisions based on logic and his long-term vision. The emotional stability that comes from self-discipline makes you someone who is reliable, grounded, and capable of handling the complexities of life and relationships with grace. This self-discipline is what allows you to remain calm and focused, even in difficult situations, and it's what attracts women to you. With emotional control, you also develop a sense of mystery. The stoic man doesn't reveal everything about himself right away. He doesn't overshare or seek constant validation. Instead, he creates an aura of intrigue around him. Women are naturally drawn to men who have depth, who don't give away all their thoughts and feelings too quickly. This mystery isn't about being cold or distant. It's about allowing the woman to see that there is more to you than meets the eye. You keep her wondering, wanting to learn more about you. This leaves her emotionally invested in you, craving to discover the parts of you she hasn't unlocked yet. The mystery you create becomes a magnetic force. It's what keeps her coming back, trying to figure out more about you. And that is what makes you incredibly attractive. By now, you've learned that emotional control is the key to becoming the man who doesn't need to chase, but who attracts. Emotional control helps you build confidence, maintain your boundaries, and create an aura of mystery that draws women in. But it doesn't stop there. The real power of emotional control is that it allows you to remain true to yourself. A stoic man isn't swayed by others' opinions. He doesn't adjust himself to please people or to fit into a mold. He stands firm in his beliefs, his values, and his actions. This authenticity makes him deeply attractive. Women are drawn to men who are unwavering in who they are, because they know that authenticity means strength. When you stop seeking approval, stop chasing validation, and start leading your own life, you become the man who is truly irresistible, not just to women, but to everyone around you.